Well, game number 2 is going to be on the way. One has been completed, so we have Atlantic Cricket Club versus London United Cricket Club. So the London boys are going to be taking first knock.
Yeah, they're batting, and the field is all set. Atlantic is just about to begin. Plays the call, and here we go. Starts off with a wide.
Yes, wayward delivery there. His radar was way off, but nonetheless outside the off stump. So the channel was right in the offside, but has to get it closer to the stumps.
It's packed offside field. See short third man, point, backward point, cover. One of them is in the action and he's dropped it. The plan was set. Bowler delivered, but the execution wasn't there, and the end result is a drop catch.
And James is the culprit there. He's a known wicket keeper in these local parts. He was in and out of his greasy paws.
Field placing is quite interesting. You see there's short third man, backward point, points, and then in one fielder just square cover, extra cover, long off and long on around the fence. The next one is dabbed into that packed offside field.
Yes, and like we said, we have a short third man, backward point, cover, extra cover, and long off. So all 6 men in the offside, and they're encroaching in the offside, closing in. All dots so far, except for the first delivery, which was off target, outside the off stump to be called wide.
Plan is clear. Once again, wide of the off stump. This is found the gap, and it may run away into the fence. Yes, indeed it does. First boundary for the London United.
Yes, so 5 for no loss, and that one was challenging outside the off stump, headed for wide as well, but it had a good bounce, and the outstretched arms of the batsman caught up with it, picked the gap beautifully. There was a run chase on, and the ball eventually won the race.
The clouds, they've thickened up. The wind has picked up as well. You can see the flags all around the ground. You can see them flutter. Is there any chance of some rain later in the day, Ivor? Being the local man.
Well, we have a westerly wind. Normally it goes from east to west, but it's coming from west to east, so we'll watch and wait.
Full-blooded drive straight to the fielder.
Yes, that offside is cordoned off, and this time he punched it straight to the mid-off and can't score. So a mixed bag in the first over.
After the first boundary, the long-on fielder has been brought in the ring, and one of those packed offside field, the square point, they have been sent back to do the sweeping on the offside. As we watch once again, short and wide, straight to the fielder.
Yeah, so James made good this time, and making sure a dot goes into the scores book, having put down a chance there earlier in the over. Again, it's 5 for no loss. Second match of this tournament. First of 3 days. The grand finale would be coming down on Sunday.
Nice little push down the ground. Not too much power behind that, though.
No, just timing and placement. Got it past the bowler on the onside, and the mid-on made a valiant effort to cut it off, and he dove on dry land and did not come up with anything.
Yep, that's the end of the first over. 6 without a loss, and the opening pair of Kamran Yunus and Arshad. Yunus is actually a top player. He's a first-class cricketer, and he's the mainstay of this London United batting lineup. Off to a slightly sluggish start, but if he stays there for a few overs, I'm pretty sure he's well capable of making it all up. So exciting cricket coming your way on MAC TV. The USA National Championship, the MAC T10 2019, second game of the very first day, as I was said. Plenty of cricket coming your way, and the grand finale will be on Sunday. So keep watching, and if you're nearby, come along to Central Broward Regional Park.
Yeah, so Blake would have bowled a beautiful over. Just 6 runs coming from it, the first over. And for all you viewers out there, we want to say welcome to Mac TV. Spread the word. We are going to be here for the duration of the tournament. So it's Friday here in the US. We're not going to see a lot of spectators here until the afternoon after the 9 to 5 workers would have finished. I'm sure they will give us a look in.
Short and hammered. No one is out there in the onside. One bounce and over the fence. Boundary to start off the second over.
Yeah, so Owen guilty of bowling back of the length there, and that one got up nicely for the batsman to pivot and hit it straight to the deep backward square leg in no man's land for a 1 bounce 4. So the second boundary, and both have come on the eastern side of the ground. So they're favoring that side of the ground, maybe.
That's with the wind as well, Ivor. And if you can look at the pitch, the color of the pitch has changed since morning with all the wind and sun that's been beating down on it. We watch Owen once again. Glorious throw. And that wins the race as well. That's the shot of the day for me so far.
Yes, but it was a bad miss there by the fielder. It went through him like a strainer. It should have been cut off. There would have been none. So that seemed to be the skipper there, Prianta. And he went straight through him. But it was a beautiful shot. It deserved 4 by the look of things. But the bowler would not really be excited about that because he has gone for back-to-back boundaries.
Yep, he went short and got punished. He went full. Result was the same. A slight change in the field. The sweeper's been sent out on the offside to go with the long off. And a short extra cover catching. Once again, it's a packed offside field.
Oh, and we're going to have a hat-trick of boundaries here. This time he's tugging this one from outside the off stump down to the vacant long on. And they just pulled in the man from the long on to accommodate the extra cover fielder.
It might have looked agricultural, but there was a method behind it. He was trying to play around with the field. Just dragged it from way outside the off stump and looking for the empty long on slot. Connected it on that occasion. Hat-trick of boundaries as London United is motoring along now.
Yes, Jonas, he goes on to 17. And this time down the leg side, and he's not getting a hold of it, but let's see if he's going to have the legs to cross the boundary rope. The keeper is after it. He's running his slides, but all in vain. So we have yet another boundary. So we have 4 in a row.
4, and it has to be said it's good batting because he just walked right in front of the stumps as he knew that Owen is looking for that off-stump line. But he forced that error from Owen, and fine leg, there was no fielder. Valiant chase from the keeper. But as you said, this outfield is really fast and full value for strokes for their batsmen.
And another boundary coming in the eastern side of the ground again. So we've just seen one beautiful shot through the offside on the western end for 4, but all of the other boundaries come on the eastern side. Let's see the comeback ball. He's going after him again. He struck the stumps. I think that would have been very interesting if it did not hit the ground, because I think he would have had 4 written all over it. So a dot after all goes in finally.
But Owen got lucky on that occasion. As they say, you have to play straight. But this time it was 2 straight.
2 straight. Cannoned into the non-striker's wicket and saved him, I believe, another boundary. Even though there's a man on the long off boundary, I don't think he would have gotten around. He was poorly struck. This time he's not getting a hold of this one, but good bit of feeling out here. In the meantime, they scampers through for 2.
Owen will be glad to see the back of this over. He's struggling, helped by the stumps on the 5th delivery. And another full toss was the last delivery of the over. Yunus couldn't get hold of it, but excellent tumbling save as well. So 18 of the over, and the innings is back on track for London United.
Yeah, quite a contrast to the first over, where only 6 runs was given from Blake. And now he has tripled it. You've given up 18. But that's what 10-10 is all about. You've got to get the wheels turning early. We would have seen the first inning when Chima would have got a hold of the opponent and struck some 50 from some 19 deliveries. So as far as we know, it's the only 50 so far in the.
Haven't seen the early exchanges in this game though. We're hoping that it's going to be a closer contest than when it turned out the first one, because both the teams, just by looking at them, they're up for it. London United, having travelled all the way from UK, they mean business. Atlantic CC, it's every bit a match so far. It's the first delivery, is beaten outside the off stump. Yunus is batting on 23. He's got all the runs. He had most of the strike as well.
Yes, the count run rate is 12. By no means taking the game away. Ooh, this one is loud appeal and he's bowled him.
I think it ricocheted off the pads onto the stumps as Owen was about to appeal before he realized that that ball had hit the stumps. So that's the breakthrough for the Atlantic CC. As I was saying, the early exchange is suggesting that it's going to be a close contest.
Yeah, well, Owen, you wish, and Owen wished that it was him who was
Blake.
Bowling, but that is Blake, who has been very miserly. He's bowling his 2-over spell on the trot. I'm not too sure we're going to see Owen coming back, but who knows? The first wicket would have gone for some 24 on the board, but the batsman played right across that one. It was right up in the block hole. He should have played straight, but like we said, he cannoned off his pad and went straight back into the stumps. I wish we would have had our monitor here that we can have the replays and stuff. So pardon us if we are commentating and we're showing you something else and the cameras are showing something else, because we do not have the monitor up and working as of yet. So pardon our description sometimes. We don't know where the camera is panning.
Yeah, they've been working rigorously all morning, and as it's the first day of the championship, things will improve. And as we see, one of our technical staff still working tirelessly.
Yes, trying to get the monitor here so that we can describe what you're seeing out there. So like we said again, we ask for your pardon, and we might be saying something that's not being seen on the TV, and that's because our monitors are not in operation as of yet. But for you viewers who are viewing, if it's good night where you are, we want to say good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. If you're just waking up, you're in tune to live cricket coming from the city of Lauderhill, in the county of Broward, in the state of Florida, and in the country of the United States of America. It's the MAC T10. It's on the way today, first of 3 days, so stick and stay.
Another full yorker from Blake. Chance of a run out. Good backing up. Excellent work by the backup and preventing overthrows. Blake has really got his act together. He's bowled an excellent first over, and he's bowling an even better second over right in the block hole.
Yes, well, he's struck already, and he struck early. In his second over, he can only bowl his 2 maximum. It's a 10-10, and again, he's bowling it on the trot. So he's coming from the far end, and this time the batsman can't score, so he's right on spot. He's spot on.
Dot balls are gold dust in the shorter format. This is the shortest of all formats, so Blake has done really well. He's come up with 2 good overs.
Well, we've had him shorter. We've had him 6 aside. Bowler would bowl 1 over, but that's not too popular these days. So the 2020 has taken over. So let's see where the 10-10. This time he's straying down the leg side, and he's going to go for his first boundary. And it runs as the batter caught up with it and just whipped it off his legs in the vacant long leg area.
Fine leg up in the ring. The line was down the leg side, asking for trouble. Batsman just got a fine tickle. Got him away for a boundary. So London United moving to 29 now. We're in the 3rd over. This second game, this USA National Championship MAC T10 2019.
And when we say London, yes, indeed, London. They're coming out of the UK to participate in this MAC T10. This time he's in the air, but away from the fielder at the backward point. He's giving chase, and he caught up with it just inside the boundary there, scampering through for 2 runs.
Owen did well on the boundary, chased it hard. That outfield is really fast, but Owen was quite quick across the turf. And that ends Blake's second over. So 3 overs done and dusted, 31 for 1, London United.
So Blake has finished his quota of 2 overs. He bowled some 2 overs for 13 runs and has taken the lone wicket to have fallen. So the US National Championship mark T10 2019, April 26 to the 28th. In other words, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We need to see you facing the place. Tomorrow, this evening, after work, we'll be here until probably say 9 tonight, I would think.
The first day is always the busiest with all the teams playing and trying to get most of the games done so that when the closer contests or knockout games come along, all the games are played in the main stadium. So it's pretty hectic all over this complex. There's been games played on the other fields as well, just outside the main stadium. But as I've watched a few hours of this game, I have a feeling that both these teams are very well balanced, and we're in for a great contest in this one.
Yes, indeed. Well, Scott is going to be taking up the attack from the southern end here, and like we said, we know Owen, he's been battered out of the attack. So Scott is bowling this one. He's going in the air. There's a man down here. He's getting on it. Let's see. He is a goner. First delivery was a full pitch. He was coming from the height of a 7-footer, and he dipped at the last moment. The batter did not get a good hold of it. Could get it no further than the long on, who settled, took the catch. So Scott has struck with his first delivery of his spell, and all high fives going up. Again, we apologize for not having a monitor here, so I am hoping that what we're broadcasting, the cameras are on it, because this is TV commentary and not radio. But if you're tuned in via whatever device, I hope we can paint a good enough picture for you, and you're not getting any mixed signal that we are talking about clouds and the camera is pointing towards the beach.
Owen slightly redeeming himself in the field after that expensive over. Judged it nicely. For a minute it looked like he was backpedaling, but as you rightly said, Ivor, the batter didn't get hold of it. Owen had to come forward a few paces. Took it cleanly. Wickets are the key. Every time a wicket falls, may stem the flow of the runs.
Yes, but Yunus is still there. He's the guy who has been striking it around. He is on 29. So, like I said, Owens, he's making up for his loose first over. The last ball of the last over, he gave a good chase, gave a valiant chase and saved his team 2 runs. And the very next delivery, he took a well-judged catch outside the off stump. It's coming off the outer half of the bat. It's going very close to the boundary, but there's a man who's going after it, and he catches up with it now, and he sends the throw into the keeper. Not a powerful one by any stretch of the imagination. So it should be
have Hussain and Yunus, and if you look at the scorecard, Yunus has pretty much got all the runs. It's 33 now, but Yunus has got 31 of those 33 runs. So he's the main man in the London outfit. Still watch fields being changed around. Third man is going back. And we got a deep cover and
Sun hot, fellas. Well, welcome to the action as we continue action here on day 1 of the MAC T10 USA Nationals. And just a short moment ago, you would have seen the US All-Stars winning their first game by 75 runs against the Deccan Cricket Club. And their captain, Jishon Qureshi, who made 17 and bowled 2 overs, none for 9. He is here. He has already nabbed the sponsor. And we have Sultan Khan, who is the managing director, the big man at ASAC Sports out of Canada. He is here, and he is with Zishon. And hopefully, Zishon, now with this bat, you can probably turn that 17 into 170.
Yeah, the bat looks nice. I'm going to go have a quick knock before our next game, get ready to use it, and hopefully put on some more runs in game 2.
And tell us a bit about your company, Sultan.
Yeah, so R6 Sports is based out of Canada, and we are here to support this great event, to support all the young talent and the great players coming out of this platform. And we will be sponsoring Zishan for the equipment and the bats, and we will be encouraging and looking forward for the best talent, and we'll be supporting them through sponsorships as well.
Well, definitely, Asak Sports have chosen a great ambassador. Zishan Qureshi is a man who a number of young cricketers look up to. We know that, and he has reached outside of the United States as well. He had a great hand in a young man by the name of Liam being called to the national team for Trinidad and Tobago as well. This is definitely something that it's a good move because as a sponsor, you need ambassadors, and you want the proper guys, to market your stuff.
Absolutely, you nailed it. And like I mentioned, that we are here to support, especially in North America. We are working on putting our all efforts to support these ventures where we can promote and encourage the new talent. There are lots of talent in this region. It's just that we have to groom it and we have to support it and show that we are behind these guys. And these guys make their name all across the world, go around internationally, play U.S. or Canada, the players, and then that's not only our representation; it's the representation of our countries as well.
Wonderful and well, and as well as Zishan, a word on this sponsorship. I'm sure that you're grateful for the confidence that Sultan is now putting in you.
Yeah, it's always great to get some outside support, and it brings a lot of confidence having nice gear. You go out there with gear that feels comfortable, that that plays well, and you just feel like you have the confidence to play those shots when you want to go for it. You can go for it when you have that good feeling in your hands. So I have a lot of cricket coming up this summer, and it's nice to have a new sponsor and some fresh gear for the season up along the road.
Well, wonderful indeed. And speak about business acumen. Sultan Khan, takes the cake because the U.S. All Stars, they are the favorites to lift the title. And the way they played this morning, they sent a signal to all the other teams that this could be their tournament. And Qureshi, of course, who's the captain, could be using the ASAC sporting equipment. So it's back to the action as we continue action on day one of the MAC T10 USA Nationals.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And after 4 overs, United are 39 for 2. The run rate of a shade under 10. And anything under 100, you could easily consider it as under par, because 100 or 110 would be just about par, and then you have to bat and ball and field out of your skins to be able to defend that kind of total.
Yes, so we are up to the halfway mark now. The fifth over going to be in progress, 39 for 2. But Yunus is still there on 33. He has slowed down quite a bit, having struck 4 fours in a row of Irwin. Took him up to a quick 16, half of those 33 runs. He would have struck back to back. But he's been quieted, and the loss of a few wickets would have set the Londoners a little behind the clock. But there's still time yet, some 6 overs left. This time he's going after him, and he's in the air and in and out of the fielder there. Went straight to him. It was shoe length. Of course, he should have been taken. And now he's flexing his fingers as if the ball got into his fingers more so than the palm. But the chance went to begging, and now we're up to 40 for 2. So Scott would have gotten a wicket off his first delivery, and here it is where the first delivery would have presented another catch here for the new bowler, who is
Rohan, I think. Rohan Ebanks.
Ebanks. Yes, Rohan Ebanks.
As we watch now, the danger man Yunus is back on strike. Went for it. One bounce to the long off fielder. Bit of an agricultural move from Yunus. I think he's a bit better player than that. There's plenty of gaps straight on through the offside if you can just pierce the extra cover fielder. But just a single to propel him to 34 now. 41 for 2.
Yeah, it was a good-looking shot, but the placement was not there. And this time outside the off stump, a swing and a miss, and a dot goes into the scorer's book as taken low down by the wicketkeeper. So on Ebanks, he's started quite tidily, a drop catch off his very first delivery. This time up in the block hole again, and good work there. And this time it's a chance for one out. But the throw was a bit wide, and wicketkeeper did very well to get a glove on that one, or it would have been overthrows. And Pierre,
Excellent bowling and great fielding. But when he knocked the ball down, it just fell slightly away from him. Tried to reach for it, but couldn't make an accurate throw.
so then we're having 2 dots in a row. Let's see if we can have 4. We had 4 bounties in a row. We have got 2 in a row. Let us see. So it's 1-1 this time. This one is coming off the pads. They're running through for 1. They're going to turning for 2. They got quite easily in the end. Leg buys it is. Umpire Magnally signals.
Hussain should be thinking that he missed out here. Leg stump half volley with no fine leg. Could only get it off the pad. There was a chance for a boundary for London to put their innings back on track. As we watch another fielding being changed. Square leg is going back right to the edge of the circle, rather mid-wicket. Once again onto his pads. Once again Hussain fails to capitalize. He's looking for the overthrow, but it's not there.
I think he's mindful that the very first delivery, he gave a chance from the very first delivery, and Ebanks would have worked his way into the pads and bowled up quite a pretty decent over. And we're going to be changing commentary here at about this time. So we leave you with the score on 44 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Thanks a lot, Iva and Shah. As after 5, the score 44 for 2. Just a touch under 9 runs and over. And just a short while ago, you would have seen live on Mac TV, Zishan Qureshi, with his new sponsor. It goes to show what, as I welcome Samantha, it goes to show what US Open Mac T10 does for players. The sponsor was here. He was just sitting, looking at the cricket, saw young Qureshi, and the way he went about his business in terms of leading the team, and decided this is a good ambassador, this is a young man who I would like to use my equipment and to showcase and market my product. So Yunus is on 34, Hussain on 6, and it's going to be Pear who's going to take up the attack. He is bowling around the wicket, and that's a big shot.
That's a shot. And that will be a 4 from Yunus.
Yes, so he goes on now to 38, is it? Well, a big shot there indeed, and into the vacant mid-wicket region down to the boundary for 4. In fact, it was Hussain. So let's go 48 for 2, Samantha.
Yeah, well, this gives us a nice perspective of how the other games are playing. We had a big opening game, I guess you could say, the first inning. Definitely set precedent for this tournament because the second inning was not as high scoring, and this as well is not as high scoring.
Well, 157 is even good in a 2020 match.
That is very true.
This is muscled away for 1. So imagine getting that in 10 overs. So US All-Stars winning by 75 runs to send a signal to the rest of the competition that they will be the team to beat. At the moment, so the score pushes on to 49 for 2. Pear looking to, he has now changed to over the wicket. This delivery is pulled away. And that's 6 runs wide outside the off stump, and there was the batsman Eunice pulling it from outside the off stump over a wide lawn for 6.
They need to tighten in that outfielder game.
Definitely so. And that is exactly, it's as if he heard you. He's definitely going to do that. What he's doing is now switching the fielders around, and he is bringing the sweeper on the cover to a regulation long off. He has now added a long on and a wide long on as well. So he understands that he's going to go around the park.
And Pierre bowled that. They only got a single off of that. That's good bowling on Pierre's part.
Good comeback delivery. So at the moment, the score 56 for 2. This is over number 6. And it's very hot outside there. And
It's getting pretty hot in here, too.
yes.
I think they need to up the AC in this commentary box.
Yes, it's getting pretty hot as well.
Gives us a little taste of how they're feeling out there. And there goes. Oh, what a beautiful catch from number 12.
Yes, that was a wonderful catch. It was dying on him.
Antonio Scott for the catch.
So Antonio Scott went very low down to complete the catch. And Hussein is on his way. He goes back for 11 to score 56 for 2. So 56 for 3. Hussein leaves the park now for 11. So everything has gone according to plan so far, Samantha, today?
Yep. Luton Cricket Club is down 3 players already.
Yep.
Coming into the 7th over?
This is over number 6. 1 delivery to go.
Yep.
For over
so
number
coming
6.
into the 7th over.
Yes, at the end of this one, we'll be into the 7th. Singh is the new batsman. So Pierre, after getting struck all over the park, gets a wicket. Players looking well decked out in their uniforms, courtesy T20 Sports.
Yes, T20 Sports. Free.
Free. I even went for pizza just now, and free was
free.
written on the box.
Did they write free on the box?
And there's a gentleman to our right who is consuming an entire box.
And that was a good delivery from Mr. Pierre. They got a single off of that.
Yes, I'm thinking about free. There's a gentleman who is having an entire box. Well, it's free.
Free.
So 2 things this weekend will be synonymous with is Mac, and free. Of course, it's all for the benefit of cricket. And you know, it was so good to see Zishan Qureshi get this sponsorship of cricket gears. And Asak Sports out of Canada will now be his sponsor. They'll be sending gears all the time for him. It's wonderful. It shows that there is a God, and God smiles on those who help others, because Mark Qureshi, his dad, has helped so many other cricketers. It's good that someone can help his own son.
Well, that's great too, because I mean his performance was pretty well in the first game, and I'm sure that came into play with the sponsor, him watching the first game and seeing, you know, Sean play and do well bowling. He did very well,
especially with an injured knee. He was telling me just now downstairs that, you know, he really struggled to bowl with an injured knee, and I remarked to him, if you can bowl 2 overs for 9 runs in a T10 game, then you should always play cricket with an injured knee.
Well, as an athlete, you got to push through.
And
That
he
is
did.
how it is, and he did, and that probably also went into consideration for the sponsor as well.
It
to
did.
know that, you know, he is willing to push through. He's not one of those players that just cry and go home.
Yes. Mentally tough. This delivery is played away on the onside. 1 more.
Great bowling from the bowler.
Great bowling indeed. So Eunice is really batting well. Singh has just come in to join him. 59 for 3. So at this position, they're probably looking to get up to probably 110.
Whoa, what a shot. Let's see if that is a 6. Yes, it is. That is a beautiful 6 from Eunice, keeping up his score. Let's see, he's going for that half a century.
Yep.
He's almost there.
At least
At
49. Yes, wonderful shot. Wide outside the off stump, and he just went underneath that and was able to hit it away for 6. So Eunice is one short of his half century. And here is Pierre. Pulled away. This is going to give him his half century. So a 50 to Eunice, and the score is now 66 to 3. He's going to raise his bat shortly as he moves on now to 50.
It's great to see another player make it up to that half century mark.
So far, credit to the groundsman. He has prepared a wonderful pitch. Short and pulled away down to deep mid wicket. One more.
Not quite a 4.
So he's keeping it tight over the last 2 deliveries. I want to say good afternoon to young Soha.
She's shy.
So 50 to Eunice, 2 to Singh.
And shot. Will that make it? That is not a 4. It is a single.
Yes, just 1. So he's come back well, and he finishes the over. He has now taken 1 for 10, is it, of his over? In fact, none for 11. He came back well after being struck for 6. And at the end of 7 overs, we're going up to over number 8. So 3 overs to go. The score is 68 for 3 at the moment. 3 overs to go to bring up over number 10. Eunice is on 51. Singh is on 2. Pear is going to continue. He got struck for 13 in his first over.
Not seeing much action this game.
Yes, well, I think everyone was spoiled by the performance of the US All-Stars in the first game. Some mighty blows struck by Rizwan Chima. He got 62 of 20 deliveries with 7 sixes and 5 fours.
And we got a 4. Thank God.
Yes, that's pulled away for 4.
Great shot from Eunice. He's just climbing up there in points. Let's see if he makes it to a century. Don't know if that will happen.
Well,
he only has a few more balls to go, but, you know.
Just 2 overs and 5 balls. So it's going to be difficult to get up to a century.
A goal to aim for next game.
Probably he's in form. Singh is going to take strike now. In fact, it's Eunice. He's still on strike. He's on 55.
And tight in the outfield. They got that and stopped that 4. Good job from the fielders.
Not a bad delivery outside the off stump. So he's looking to take the leg side out of the play. And that one, although it was tugged on the leg side, all Eunice could have gotten was 1. So he goes to 56. Singh comes in to strike now.
I think he just needs to put a little bit more power into some of those shots. They come just short of the 4 boundary line. A lot of those could have been 4s had he put a little bit more power, I think.
Yes, it's all about timing. He probably needs to get one of those bats that Zishan just got from Asak Sports. And that then the ball may go into the boundary. It may even go over the boundary.
Oh,
Well, the fielder,
fielder's chasing it, and he was able to stop it.
so someone probably needs to remind him that this is cricket and not football. Because whereas he could have bent down and stopped that, he went across with his foot trying to kick the ball, missed all ends up, and they come back for 2. Singh goes on to 5.
The thing with those football moves, as you call them, they're pretty dangerous for cricket players. I really don't think that, they should avoid that and take the effort to bend down because, I
Yes.
mean, as a player myself, in the past, I have used my foot to try to stop the ball, and it
Yes.
went up and hit me in the shin. Couldn't run for the rest of the game.
Could have been very
So-
painful, I'm sure.
Very painful. And we got a 4. Yes, good job, Eunice. He's climbing up there in the numbers for his batting, looking to be making one of those prizes I was talking about earlier for the
Yes.
player prizes.
So the prizes go to the players.
The prizes go to the players. There is
Great.
prizes for the top 2 teams, but most
Uh-huh.
of the prizes go to the players. We got the top batsmen, top
Uh-huh.
10 in the tournament.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Wow.
Obviously, it declines based on your ranking, but top 10 players in batting, fielding, and bowling.
Wow. Well, that's amazing because normally you don't get so many players being recognized in cricket tournaments. You have the top batsman and the top bowler. Here, you have the top 10 being appreciated for their performance. 81 for 3 at the moment. Yunus is up there now. He's on 61. Of course, Chima has a high score, which was 62. And now that's one more. So Singh gets one. He goes on to 6.
Yeah, we have a second commenter who came in.
Yes.
Apparently, he's a good winner with
He's
that
a good
stop
winner.
he just made.
Speaking to Samantha Qureshi, of course, she said that in her day of playing cricket, she would have used her feet at times to stop the ball. It was painful. Thank God that she didn't use her feet to stop the horses.
Get trampled instead.
Could have been, yeah.
Horses are very, very calm animals. They don't like to hurt anyone. They do their best to avoid you. If a horse is running towards you,
Mhm.
throw your hands up, try to look a little bit taller, and they'll dodge you. You'd be
Wow.
surprised. They don't want to run into you.
Well, I'll take your word. I know you were very successful in your days of riding. Do you still ride, Samantha? Do you still ride?
Yeah, actually, I just started back up after having both my kids.
Yes.
I started riding and jumping again. I was a competitor show jumper.
Yes.
I did those big jumps with the timed races. It was
Mhm.
fun.
So
Very
you're back
competitive.
in the sport.
Started back into the sport, hoping to fully get back into it. As the kids get older, I get more and more time back, and
Yeah.
I hope to get to go back to it.
Well, speaking to your dad, I know that you were very successful, and that would have encouraged you to get back into the sport. So 82 for 3, and not bad bowling here at the moment from Kerr. He's bowling from the southern end. Score 82 for 3. This is over number 9 in progress.
Lazy fielding from the one player. Didn't move over to grab the ball. Made an outfielder come in.
Yes, so 83 for 3. So we just have 10 balls to go for this innings. And do you think they'll get up to 100?
It's possible. Oh, that is definitely going to help. There's a 4. We got a 4, bringing it up, the score, to 87.
Well, that was a good shot into the vacant mid-wicket region, down to the boundary for 4. Score 87 and 65 now to Eunice. So he's now the official top scorer for this tournament, getting past Rizwan Chima's 62. $87 for 3. This one is struck down the ground. One more. So the boundaries are not really coming frequently. 66 to Eunice, 7 to Singh.
I don't see this game reaching 100.
Well, it's going to be very, very difficult, but who knows? A few mighty hits and they will get up there.
Another single from Singh.
Singer struggled to hit the ball away.
Setting the fields. Bowlers preparing. Taking a run. And it's up in the air.
6.
6. We got a 6 out of the ground, trying to prove me wrong.
Yes, I think they'll get up to 100 now. That takes the score to 95. And that's just to prove Samantha wrong and probably tell her that, stick to predicting horse racing and horse jumping. The score is now 95. Eunice is 72, so he is now the leading scorer in this tournament.
Going for that first prize in the
So-
batsman category.
Yep. So 1 over to go. 5 runs needed to get up to at least 100, which I think is a below par score for this tournament. The pitch is playing well. So Payas bowled his 2 overs for 27, 1 for 27. Changing the field, a long one now goes into position. Because definitely they'll be looking to go down the ground to clear the straight boundaries, which are very short. The ropes being pulled in here for this game.
Is that something particular to a T10 that they pull in the ropes?
Normally they do for entertainment value. The bowlers are not very happy about that.
Well, it makes it tough on the fielders. They got to be at their A game, get those sprinting. You got to sprint for the ball. It's a
It's
very
just
short line.
65 yards. So you look around the ground and it's very picturesque. Beautiful venue, Central Broward. Oh, that's a lovely scoop shot. They call it a scoop, and that's 4. 4 to Eunice. He goes on now to 76. And that's the 100. 100 for 3.
Me proven wrong.
So having proven Samantha wrong, now they will be looking to get up to at least 110. Where at runs on the board are runs on the board. They can probably fight with that. This is game number 2. Just to remind you, we have 7 matches coming from the central venue here, the main venue. Of course, we have action on the outside as well. This is
And that is a 4. We got a 4, guys.
so Eunice goes on to 80.
He might make his 100 if
Well,
he tries hard.
He can't because just 3 deliveries to go unless he gets a no ball and gets a free hit after that.
It's possible.
Possible. He's on 80. 100. Imagine this. One man has scored 80 out of 104.
He's been in the whole game.
But that's a good point. So he fails to run. So he wants to see if he can end it in a glory. So you look outside there, and there one of the attendants speeding around with water.
Oh, we got a shot. It is not quite a 6, but we have a 4.
Yes, 4 runs. So 84 now to Eunice. 108, so they can still get up to 110.
What do you feel is a good score for a T10?
Anything over 130 is
Over
is
130?
yeah, is a good score. It's a very good score. In fact, it means you require 13. You think about it, and you made the point earlier today that once you have a number of men in the dugout, you can throw back the ball. This is the final delivery.
And he stops that 4.
They go back for 2, so 110. That's the final score.
And that's what you predicted a
Yes,
few balls
so
ago.
So Lubon,
110.
yes, Lubon ends on 110. What we're going to do now is to take a very short break. Congratulations to Eunice, 86 not out. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back,
The target to win is 111.